Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227. Or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Good morning. It's the Workers Beat. I'm Gene Lantz and
Bonnie Mathias. Good morning.
Here to talk about things that are important to workers, and you can call us at 972-647-1893. May the 8th at 7 p.m., Faith and Labor. What is the connection? Jobs with Justice and the emerging Peer Chaplains Program invites you to reflect on what difference faith can make at work and for workers' rights. Speakers will be Ben Robinson, graduate student at Perkins School of Theology at SMU. He will be the third speaker in this series of 3 evenings analyzing specific Bible texts in their connections to the issues of worker justice. Theological reflection by Professor Jorg Rieger of SMU and discussion afterwards are part of the evening. You might just be surprised what faith and labor really have in common. So that's May the 8th at 7 o'clock, 1408 North Washington. The event is free and open to the public.
I encourage everybody to go out. It's very interesting. I went to the last one that Ed Middleton was the featured speaker.
Yeah, I love Reverend Ed.
Me too. He's awesome. He's coming home from Delaware today. Yay! Yeah, it's very, very interesting. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, and they're also going to have don't get this mixed up with the Job with Justice meeting, because that's May the 14th at 7 o'clock at the same place, 1408 North Washington. If you want more information about these things, call Rosemary Rieger at 214-632-5695. That's 214-632-5695. A lot is going on. I am tickled to death with what happened over the past week. Yeah. On May the 1st, you know, this was the first time, I believe, in 100 years that the American labor movement has called for activities on May the 1st. Usually they have activities all over the world celebrating something that happened in Chicago, but they don't have them here in the United States. But the AFL-CIO called for activities here in the United States on May the 1st, International Workers' Day, and I thought that was great. And Dallas came through with a couple of very, very important meetings, one of which was Operation Phoenix.
Yes, the Phoenix Project, yeah.
Now, that's the one that's supposed to help young people that are in a little bit of trouble with the law. Trying to keep them from getting into a lot of trouble.
Young offenders.
Get them jobs and stuff like that.
Exactly. Workforce Solutions, man, I learned a lot. It's excellent. Very, very good.
My wife sits on that board, and I sat on it for 6 or 7 years. So they're the people that used to be called the Unemployment Office.
Right.
And so they're working with labor on it, and some of the building trades, I understand, are involved.
Yeah.
They're going to try to help these young people. They're mostly young men.
Right.
They're going to try to help these young people get on the straight path, and have a good life.
And most of these apprenticeships are actually paid jobs. So, I mean, that's really exciting.
972-647-1893 if you want to call. The other thing that the AFL-CIO did last week that I was really proud of is the first labor task force, in which they met with city leaders. This was arranged by County Judge Clay Jenkins.
Yes.
And I don't know if he was there or not, because he had to leave town.
He was actually on the phone. He was at the White House. Yeah. So that was kind of important.
When the president calls, you're supposed to answer.
You can't really say, "Hey, dude, really, I'm busy."
But let's get down to business. The fact is that the station is running low on money.
Yep.
If someone would please call and donate $114,000, then we could put an end to this. We'd go right back to talking about workers' justice. But if we don't get $114,000 right away, then maybe we can get 50, or maybe we can get 100. and work our way up towards $114,000. That's the station's overall goal. Now, this program here only has to raise $1,000, so we already got the first 50 already.
That's right.
Come in
Thank you very much,
before we
sir.
even started. So call us at 972-647-1893. Bonnie, what you got?
Man, I got all kinds of stuff. We got the Bluebonnet T-shirts, which are really pretty, and they have the ladies is heather gray with the full color Bluebonnet design. It's really, really nice. We have the retro bowling shirt, and those come all the way up to XXL. So that's really great. Red with black contrast collar on the shoulder and pockets. You know what a bowling shirt looks like. It's pretty cool. Really nice stuff. And this station presents and brings information about things that you're not going to hear about anywhere else. You're not going to hear about the faith in labor on any other station than this station. So give us a call this morning, 972-647-1893. We got coffee mugs and umbrellas and T-shirts and iPad cases, backpacks, glasses, stainless steel travel tumblers, a generic VOP T-shirt. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Voice of the People. Oh, cool. Okay, Knon generic Voice of the People T-shirt, and it is key lime green. So you would definitely, and it is green. It's almost our Walmart green. So it's bright, very bright. Got folding headphones for a $40 pledge. It costs, we only have, Miss Nell is she's our official Vanna White this morning. She is modeling our stainless steel tumbler. Thank you so much, Vanna.
That's a drinking cup.
Yes.
She's modeling
the drinking
holding
cup.
It up.
She's holding it. She's not really modeling it. Yeah, she wouldn't fit in the cup.
972-647-1893. There's different ways you can donate.
Yeah.
Of course, you can call 972-647-1893, and that's pretty much what they want. It's what we want, too, because if you do that, then you get on the air, and that's you can talk about what KNON means to you.
Right.
But there's other ways to donate. For example, you can do it online.
Yes.
And how do you do that?
KNON.org. It's so simple. It is so secure. Just be sure that you put in the workers beat when it asks you what your favorite show is, because we want to make sure that we get credit for your donation. And we know, and if you want to split it between different shows, you can do that too.
Yeah. You can give some to Reverend Barnett's church information, and some to workers beat.
Yep.
Both.
You could do it all. Yep.
214-972-647-1893. I keep trying to give out my personal home.
I don't think you should do that. I used to give my cell phone number out on the air years ago. You shouldn't do that either.
It'll drive you nuts, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, you can call Neil, who used to be a phone sex operator.
That's right.
972-647-1893.
One of those really sexy voices.
You can hear her. You can hear her breathing right into the phone.
She says that's not true, but I don't
make
know.
a pledge. Or you can also just mail it. And
that's right.
That is cool.
5353 Maple, Suite 200.
Yeah, and the zip code, I bet you don't know that.
752.
Yeah, you got that part.
75247?
Close. 75235.
That's right. This is a hospital district.
It's 5353 Maple Avenue, Suite 200, Dallas, Texas, 75235. That's for shy people.
Yeah.
That just want to send the money and don't want anybody to know about it and
That's
all
right.
that.
Yeah.
The good thing about doing it online, of course, is that it's the easiest way to do it. And also, they don't sell your name.
No.
KNON does not collect names and sell them like everybody else does.
That's right.
So make a pledge.
You could even we have a Texas Ranger style baseball jersey that has KNON on it. That's very cool. And that's a $125 pledge. But this is a real full button baseball jersey. So it's pretty, it's really cool. It's blue. It's white with blue and red on the front and blue and red on the back. It's really cool looking. $125. We have the KNON car show and concert, which is Sunday, May 18th at the Bowl Lounge, which is at 167 Turtle Creek Boulevard.
So we're giving tickets?
Yes, we have
so
5
if somebody makes
pairs.
a pledge, how big a pledge do they have to make?
$40 gets you 2 tickets. $60 gets you 2 tickets and a KNON T-shirt. So there's a bunch of the derailers.
What do they do there?
Well, there's going to be cars, bikes, trucks, classic rat rod, lowrider, antique bike or Harley. There are music starring the Derailers, Dead Flowers, Quimicas del Son, and the Paul Blues Bird Band.
The Derailers, so that sounds like some kind of bicycle group.
It could be. I don't know. But we have five pairs of tickets. So a $40 pledge will get you 2 tickets, $60 to get you 2 tickets and a T-shirt that you could wear to the show.
Yeah, too bad it's not a music program. We could have played something.
I know, but we don't have it.
972-647-1893. I've been warned about singing on this show.
Have you?
I've been told, you're not a music show. And I said, well, when I sing, it's not music.
Good point. No, that's not true. You're a good singer, Jimmy.
Here's the kind of thing that KNON's Workers Beat program presents that you don't hear anywhere else. There is a way that you can get your signature taken off of those petitions. It's been observed that the people petitioning to privatize the Dallas schools are not necessarily following the rules. They don't necessarily tell you what they're supposed to be telling you before you sign it. And of course, the name itself is a big fat lie.
Isn't that the truth?
Their name is Save the Public Schools, and what they're trying to do is privatize the public schools. So it ought to be POPs instead of SOPs.
Yeah, or just sabotage our public schools. That's kind of what it's like, yeah.
There's a way to get your name. If you signed one of those things and now you're sorry, you can get your name taken off of it. There's a way to do it on the Internet. And I guess really, if you want the whole Internet address, you better just email me, labordallas@sbcglobal.net, because it's long. If I wrote it down, if I read it over the radio, I don't think anybody would get it right.
You can also actually get a affidavit at DISD Administration Building on Ross.
And that way you can get your name taken off the signatures?
Yes, sir.
Because I know firsthand that some of these guys doing this petitioning are playing loose with the rules.
Yes.
And
they're being paid by the signature as well.
I even heard they're bringing people in from outside.
Yes, we have people here from Georgia and Alabama.
They're
That's
hiring
correct.
people to do. And the worst thing it is Dallas Morning News is cooperating, because the Dallas Morning News refers to them as volunteers. And they're getting paid.
Volunteers don't get paid, just so y'all know.
Yeah, volunteers is like what Bonnie and I are on KNON.
Exactly.
Well, 972-647-1893. If you want to keep a program on the air that will tell you how to get your signature off of that privatization petition, write to us. And you can also sign a petition against it.
Yes.
I've got one I carry around with me, but also there's one online. It's TexasRetiredAmericans.org. I work with the Texas Retired Americans, and TexasRetiredAmericans.org has the petition. You just click the thing that says sign the petition, and then it takes your name and your zip code, and that's going to go to the mayor, because Mayor Rawlings is pretty much the main spokesperson for the idea of subverting the Dallas Independent School District. 972-647-1893. The other stations are either going to be in favor of privatizing the schools,
or they won't talk about it at all.
Or they're going to sit on the fence about it.
They won't talk about it at all. That's right.
We tell it like it is here.
Texas Organizing Project came out publicly after a meeting on I think it was Wednesday night.
They published some stuff that was kind of confusing, and
Lakeisha,
they jumped out to make it very clear that they oppose privatization.
Right, and we had Geronimo Valdez and Mike Morath at the town hall meeting, and neither one of them answered a question directly.
Yeah, they just mealy-mouthed.
Yes,
they said, "Well, we'll let you know later what we're going to do after you give us control.
Right?
After you give us control of the whole school district." The top 1% share of income from wealth has risen It used to be 33.5% of all income. That was back in 1979. It's now 54%, and that was in 2010. So I guess it's even worse than that in 2014. The top 1% share of income went from 33.5% up to 54% in 2010, according to the Economic Policy Institute.
So
this
is probably
very, very serious.
64% now.
If you're not worried about the inequality of wealth and income in the United States, so you're not. I don't think you're conscious.
You're not paying attention.
I think you're in a coma.
Yeah.
972-647-1893. It's not every station that talks about worker justice and stands on your side on these issues, like the minimum wage.
Oh, my goodness.
Last week, Republicans in the Senate blocked a bill that would have raised the minimum wage.
Once again.
Once again, yeah.
Once again.
They're only trying to get $10.10.
Right, over 3 years.
And it's been shown that $15 would be fair, or would be closer to fair.
Yeah.
But you can really tell which side people are on. When you say which side are you on, or what side of the line are you on, the line is the picket line. But in general, you can tell whether people are for people or for corporations simply by asking them how they feel about the minimum wage. If they're for raising the minimum wage, they're probably working people and probably on the right side. But if they're against raising the minimum wage, they're with the bosses.
That's right.
And with the corporations against the people. And that's one issue that makes everything very clear. You're not going to hear that over on those other stations.
No.
972-647-1893. Call and make a pledge while we take a break.
Thanks.
But what we like is
Saturday morning. That's right.
And we're looking for your pledge at 972-647-1893. We were making the point that the Workers Beat program is unique. And we're like an endangered species.
I know, it's scary.
You know, you should protect the endangered species. We're as good as mussel fish or something. There's some kind of fish, that's
endangered, and
it's endangered.
So it's being protected. We should be protected.
There's only one of us in North Texas. There is one in Houston, I understand.
Is there?
And one in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And that's at 3 in the South, where they actually will speak up in favor of workers on issues.
There used to be one in Little Rock. I don't know if there is. Stephen Crockett, I think he's gone pretty much internet. Strictly internet.
Yeah, I get stuff from a guy in West Virginia that has an internet program, and one in New York that have an internet program. But we're on the air.
We are on the air, live and on the air.
We're talking to people in 9 counties about worker justice issues.
That's a big area. So somebody out there really should call. If we're talking 9 counties, surely somebody can pick up the phone and call us.
Because we're endangered.
Because we're endangered. We're an endangered species.
You know how many shows they've already canceled in the last 18 months?
Like 12.
No, it's the last 3 years. It's 18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's in one of those papers there. We knew those guys,
right?
Like Ed Schutz, what used to come on right after us.
Yeah.
Jim Schutz.
Jim Schutz, yeah.
And they just didn't raise enough money, and so they couldn't really prove that people listened and that people cared. Yeah. So if you're listening and you care, make a pledge at 972-647-1893. Help us stay on the air and help the station stay on the air.
Yeah, and you can even do a recurring bank draft. You know, I've done that since, probably since 1984, 85.
What do you have to do? Do you go down to your bank and work it out?
Actually, you can just call us, and we can get it set up for you over the phone.
Oh, Nell can do it.
Yeah, Nell can do it. 972-647-1893. Yeah, Nell can do it. I can do it.
And the station protects your identity.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no risk involved.
No, I've been giving for a long time, guys, on an automatic bank draft. Mm-hmm. And even if you call today, you still have 3 months to pay your pledge. Okay, we want you to pay it right away because we need your money right away. But you could even, send a little bit every month.
Yeah. This is the program that agrees with Mr. Piketty. Mr. Piketty. Yeah, that's his name, Piketty.
Mr. Piketty.
It's French, so I don't know how you pronounce Piketty in French. Maybe it's Piketty or Piketty or something like that. He's a young guy, and he wrote a book about capitalism in the 21st century, something like that. Oh. And he said that there's too many people that's too filthy rich and too many poor people. And boy, you talk about a firestorm. I've seen this in the New York Times. I've seen it a full page in the Dallas Morning News. There is a big controversy because this man said some people got too much money and other people don't have enough.
So he told the truth and everybody's upset?
Yeah.
What is up with that? That's pretty normal, I've noticed.
I haven't read the book, Piketty's book, but it must be pretty interesting to have caused so many big shots, to have called him so many names.
Are those the people with the money that are calling him names?
I have a feeling they are.
Oh.
And of course, a lot of them are media personalities because, let's face it, brothers and sisters, this may come as a big shock to you, but media personalities are for sale.
We're not.
But you can.
Most are.
You calling us media personalities?
Well, of course.
Well, to the extent that we are media personalities, we are not selling out.
We cannot be bought.
I know Reverend Barnett talked a lot about people selling out. It's basically for money. Let's face it, the people that have got all the money, are buying
whatever they want.
They buy the movie stars and the DJs and the
basketball teams and
whatever they can.
Whatever they want.
But so a lot of them are against Mr. Piketty. Or Senor Piketty? No, Monsieur Piketty. A Frenchman who wrote a book that says that some people have got too much money and other people don't have enough. Well, he's talking about the fact that the wage and wealth gap are so gigantic now.
Exactly.
Whatever you're making, the bosses are making 331 times that much.
Is anybody really worth that amount of money?
And then there's bosses that don't even work at all, that just make money because their dad was rich, and they own stuff.
How's
they got
that
papers
work?
on stuff. So the point Piketty makes is that this is very destructive to the economic system and that it can't persist. And it's going to get much, much worse, he says. And the economic, we're looking forward to disaster in the economic system because of this. And he has a simple solution, which is a wealth tax. Wealth tax, in other words, is just compute how much money people have and they say, okay, and you owe 10% of that, or something like that. And get the taxes based on their wealth, which is a simple idea, and it's so obvious that that's why they hate it.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Attorney General Greg Abbott. He and his wife made $193,000 last year, not counting the $500,000 a year that he gets on his settlement from the tree falling on him and paralyzing him, because that's tax-free. $193,000 he and his wife earned last year, and they paid 14% tax.
Really? I paid 28%.
I was, my husband and I did not make that much money, but we paid about 28 or 29%. And my husband's self-employed, so we got tons of deductions.
So not only have people got all this money, but they're going to get more.
And they don't pay their fair share. I mean, what's up with that?
I'm eager to read Mr. Piketty's book because I want to know if he points out that once these people have got all this god-awful amounts of money, that they then start buying out the political system so that they can make even more money.
Which is exactly what they're doing.
That's why the minimum wage bill failed last week, is because the wealthy people didn't want to share any of it with the people that work for them, so they got together and told their little stooges in
their
Congress,
puppets.
their puppets, how to vote, and they voted it down.
Yep.
So.
And so there you go, folks. Keep voting them in. Folks got to wake up and smell the coffee here.
Yeah, but it's very hard to overcome the fact that one candidate's got millions and millions of dollars and the other candidate's got $10,
But Gene, if the 99% vote, the 1% won't matter.
That's true. It just hasn't happened yet.
Well, then what is the deal? Get up. Get up off your butt. Man, you don't even have to leave the house. If you're disabled or you are old, if you're over 65, right? Is it 65?
Well, Bonnie, they're also working, the rich people are also working on stopping us from voting. The New York Times editorial headline says it all. It said, quote, "Voter ID is the real fraud." And there's a little more on that, some good news. In Wisconsin, where they have a law just like they have in Texas here, voter suppression law, the judge ruled it out. He overruled it. Yay! Of course, they're going to appeal. They're going to go to the Supreme Court with this. But the judge, Lynn Alderman, said it is, quote, "insane," end quote, to try to impersonate another voter. In other words, voter fraud is based, or the voter suppression bills, the people who support them say that this is to keep people from pretending to be other people to go and vote. And nobody does it. And they can't find anybody that did it. Exactly. But it's a farce. Yeah. It's a farce in Texas. I'm hoping that the 5th District Court judge here will strike down the voter ID law in Texas as well. I have no doubt that they will, but when it goes to the Supreme Court, I'm quite worried because this Supreme Court, or 5 members of the Supreme Court, have shown themselves to be in favor of the big corporations and against the working people over and over again, and democracy has taken some severe blows. Sure is. From this 5 people on the Supreme Court. From the day they put George Bush in office as president till now, they have just racked and ruined democracy in America. Yep. You don't hear that on the rest of the stations, folks. 972-647-1893 if you want to keep it coming. We appreciate it if you would call, make a pledge, and then stay on the line and talk to us. Talk to us. Yeah. Tell us what KNON is about if you're of a mind. You should make a pledge because Gene made his pledge this morning. Mm-hmm. I'm making my pledge this morning. He's over there writing a check. Yes, I am. I'm writing up our little thing. Gene's going to get some Frisbees for his donation. And I'm going to get one of these really cool heather gray T-shirts with the blue bonnets on the front because it's really pretty. We have them hanging up here, and they're really pretty. They're nice looking shirts. Yeah, they do good shirts at KNON. We do good shirts, and the green one is awesome. You can wear the green one to Walmart, and they would probably think that you had our Walmart shirt on, which is really funny. Okay, let's put Marjorie on line 4. Thanks for calling, Marjorie. Hi. I just made it wasn't much, but just pocket change, but I made a pledge. Thank you. Hopefully it'll help a little bit. Mm-hmm. Always. And they do have the same voter suppression in Tennessee. And I witnessed a disabled voter because I was a poll worker when I was there, and there was a disabled voter who was turned away for lack of ID, and they would not accept her disabled transit ID. No. Her mother was able to vote, who for her age is able-bodied, but the disabled daughter was not able to vote. And I saw this right in my own precinct. Mm-hmm. And so this really does deprive people of their vote for no reason. And no wonder these rich, it's a lie that they got there through hard work. Of course. If hard work really made you rich, every woman in Africa would be a billionaire. That's the God's truth. That's right. And you and I would be millionaires, Marjorie. I mean, let's admit. and these women in Africa would be billionaires. That's right. And let's admit the reason they're rich is because their ancestors sacked and overthrew the Roman Empire and seized all that wealth. Mm-hmm. That's it. They stole it. It's all hereditary wealth that is unearned and undeserved. They've always been criminals. Amen. Have you ever heard the saying, I'm trying to find out who said this originally, but the quote is this: not all rich men are thieves. Some of them are the sons of thieves. Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, and great-great-great-great-great-great-grandsons of thieves. And that's true. I could go on a whole spiel about the medieval history, all the genocide and genocide, but I won't take up more airtime in case somebody wants to call in and pledge something. Yeah, we got somebody waiting right now. Yeah. I hope to see y'all
at one of these upcoming meetings.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, Marjorie.
Thanks, Marjorie.
Bye-bye.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for making a pledge to KNON. Let's put Quinn on. Thanks for calling, Quinn. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, you're on the air. Millions
Hey,
are millions
first
are
I
listening.
just want to say that about the only problem with this show is the time slot. If y'all want a prime time slot, I mean, you'd be swamped.
Uh-huh.
And I just want to know what the update is on the Trans-Pacific disaster.
Well, I can tell you that we are still fighting it.
Okay, good.
So
Well,
I'll be in D.C. next week, and I do have an
good,
appointment
good.
with both Mark Vesey's office and Eddie Bernice Johnson's office, and I'll be stopping by one of the other.
Now, both of them have been good on that.
Yes, they have.
Great.
They have not
Because-
signed the letter, but they're
Well, I figured out
good.
the way the news cycle works. Now, see, one of the biggest problems, everybody thinks that the media tells the truth, and especially anybody under the age of 40. It's still the media used to tell the truth until about 20, 25 years ago, until Murdoch was allowed into the country. Let's go into that discussion
Right.
about wonderful Ronald Reagan, allowing him in here in the first place, and it's been downhill since then. The 1% owns all media,
Just
except
about all.
KNON.
Just about all.
So you're
Pretty
only
much.
going to get pro 1%, and people have to wake up to that.
That's right.
But yeah, tell me, I'd like to hear more about TPD.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks so much for calling, Quinn. Thanks for making a pledge.
Yes.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership has been stopped for the time
For
being.
the time being.
It doesn't mean that they'll quit
No.
because they got all the money in the world and they can bring it back up in Congress anytime they want. However, for the time being, it's been stopped, and Vice President Joe Biden announced it was stopped, and Harry Reid from the Senate announced that it was not going to happen in this session. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, in case people don't know, is another one of those secret so-called trade deals resulting from what they call globalization. But here on KNON, we call it globalization.
I love that.
Because it's just turning things over to the big corporations.
That's right.
The corporate
That's right.
executives get to sit in on all these secret meetings. We don't.
That's it.
We don't find out until after they voted on it what was in it. Mm-hmm. And NAFTA was the first one that we really had an outcry about,
And
it's still hurting us.
Oh, yeah.
People still losing jobs
Millions of
because
jobs.
of it. Mm-hmm.
You know, even though the jobs report that came out yesterday said that there were 280,000 jobs added, you know, my question is always, what kind of jobs were they? Let's get real. What kind of jobs were they? Were they continuously the service industry, low-wage jobs? Of course they are. I have a young man that goes to my church. He has a master's degree. He has an MBA. And he has applied for probably 100 jobs in the past 2 months, and he has not even gotten an interview.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
he's an
don't have to-
engineer.
You don't have to wonder, because there are already studies about it that show specifically that the jobs that are coming back are not the jobs that went away.
That's right.
The jobs that went away in 2007, 2008 ain't coming back. The jobs that we're getting, and food service jobs are leading the main
Food service
source
and-
of new jobs.
Food service in the hospitality
And
industry.
they don't even get minimum wage
Most
in
of them,
food
that's
service.
right.
So the low wage jobs, and Texas, of course, is the leading
the nation.
the nation in
Yes.
having low wage jobs. The largest percentage of our workforce works for almost nothing.
So, Rick Perry, while you're out there bringing jobs to Texas, how about you bring some good jobs to Texas?
That
Okay.
would be something, wouldn't it?
Toyota's moving to Plano, so there's some good jobs. We hope.
Maybe so. We hope so.
We'll be right back. Blue
Back
Collar
on the air,
Blues.
and with Gene Lantz with Bonnie Mathias.
Yes.
The number you can call us at 972-647-1893. This is the show where we talk about workers' issues. Here's a little ditty for you. John Arnold is a former Enron executive who walked away with a fortune from the bankrupt Enron company. He has spent tens of millions of dollars in his crusade to deny public employees guaranteed benefits at retirement. This after public pensions reportedly lost more than $1.5 billion as a result of their investment in his company, Enron. This is a quote from Randy Weingarten, the president of the American Federation of Teachers. So John Arnold is the guy who's now financing the campaign to privatize the schools in Dallas.
That's right.
He's an Enron executive, and he's known primarily for wanting to privatize people's pensions. And that he spent a lot of money over that over the last decade or so, because he's got billions, so it's just pocket change for him. But his company cost public pensions more than $1.5 billion.
Isn't that special?
He knows all about stealing people's pensions.
Yeah, while he's sitting back counting his billions that he stole from all those people that worked at Enron. What a pal! What a pal!
And that's thanks to Randy Weingarten, the president of the American Federation of Teachers. You know, there are union leaders used to be known for not saying much.
Not anymore.
And kind of staying in the background, but now we have some of them, like Randy Weingarten, that are really getting out front. Richard Trumka jumped on everybody for not passing the minimum wage increase, and he said that they have to keep trying to do that. Richard Trumka is the president of the AFL-CIO. I am trying to get Richard Trumka. If you're listening, Richard, we want you to come down here on July 30th, because that's when ALEC is going to meet in Dallas, and we need to get ready for that. And we need to have big spokespersons come in to talk about ALEC. 972-647-1893. I spent last week at the convention of the Alliance for Retired Americans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's always good. They're a really good part of the labor movement. Most of the members at this point are union members, retirees. They don't have to be. There are people there that are not union members. But the fact is that when things start, they usually start with people that are already organized.
Yes.
And so the organized sector of the retiree movement started the American Alliance for Retired Americans, and they're adding to all the civilians that they can find. 972-647-1893 is the number to call us and make a pledge. Anyway, at the convention, the thing that surprised me was that it was all about ALEC.
Really?
Yeah, the retirees were just plain up in arms.
That's great.
They presented 3 workshops on ALEC. The woman who did the presenting was a pretty young woman named Jane Carter, and her union is AFSCME, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, and her whole job is to oppose ALEC.
Wow.
And
what a cool job.
Goes around the country making speeches. And she got the entire 500 delegation from of the Alliance for Retired Americans really out of joint about it, opposing the American Legislative Exchange Council. And they're all ready to do something. So I invited them all to Dallas.
Absolutely.
On July 30th when they come here. And they're going to have their national convention here at the Anatole Hotel.
And we're going to be here to welcome them, sort of.
Yeah.
Not exactly welcome them, but you know.
972-647-1893. You can get in on these things. You don't have to be an innocent bystander here. You can participate.
That's right.
972-647-1893. Please call and make us a pledge. I had one idea that I thought might work, Bonnie, and that is to decorate our cars and put some signs on our cars during that week, that say no to ALEC or stop ALEC, and stuff like that. Because so many people don't know about this secretive organization that actually works with the big corporations to organize their legislation, to get their legislation passed, and whatever politicians they can buy, several of them here in Texas. In fact, the state director for ALEC is in Collin County.
Yes.
I hope she's listening.
I hope she is too.
We would like you to give up ALEC, if like a lot of people are doing, as other people find out about it.
And she does have an opponent, so I hope folks wake up and elect her opponent and kick her out of office.
Well, we're not allowed to campaign for candidates, but we certainly are against ALEC.
Yeah, and how can you look at yourself in the mirror?
I'll tell you what kind of company you're in. If you take money from ALEC, the number one recipient of money from ALEC is Governor Rick Perry of Texas. So that's a terrible shame.
Why does that not surprise me?
It is. Another thing we found out during the week was that some of our more beloved companies are funding ALEC. One of them is Google, which kind of breaks my heart.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
And another one is Facebook.
That's really sad.
Giving the millions of dollars that Alec wants to subvert the American democratic system.
And we sure do talk a lot about him on Facebook.
Yeah,
and that is not pleasant.
It's not.
So I'm not sure what Facebook is thinking.
972-647-1893. Of course, there's a long list of corporations that are funding Alec. Some of them you would expect. Walmart, of course, is right there at the top of the list. These are companies that are paying experts to subvert democracy in the United States and turn everything over to the very, very, very wealthy
AT&T, Verizon. Hey, they're all in on it. ExxonMobil, huge. And I heard a piece, 972-647-1893. I want you to give us a call. Any pledge or no pledge, give us a call. I heard that we will not know the extent of the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico for probably 5 to 10 years.
Well, you can be sure if there's any legislation written on it that
Alec's behind it.
Alec will be
That's
doing
right.
it. What they're doing is they're carrying out the political program of the big corporations.
Yep.
And they're doing it by buying off state politicians. Sylvia's on. Okay, we can put Sylvia on.
Absolutely.
Line 4. Good morning, Sylvia. Thanks for calling.
Oh, definitely. Do you remember I went with you guys to Austin a few years ago? You helped me get that all together, and I listen to you all the time and try to contribute. But anyway, what I wanted to know is last week I, went downtown City Hall for the rally, and I
last Saturday.
I was there, and there were about 100 people there, and you weren't there.
You know what? Where was it? Because I went to the.
We were standing right on the corner in front of City Hall. You couldn't miss us. There was about 100 of us there.
Oh, I saw a few people, but I brought people with me where they were like, well, what is this? What do you mean? And I was like, oh, my gosh. I said, well, I know it because I put it on the calendar. So
yeah, we were there from 10 until noon. We sure were.
See. Okay, then. Well, anyways, I'm so sorry about that. I think that's a bad thing for the district, Alec, in any way that I can help, then I'll be listening and try to put some effort.
All right,
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thanks for calling KNON. 972-647-1893. And call us and make a pledge.
Please.
And you can get a Frisbee.
You could get a Frisbee, that's right.
You can't find Frisbees anymore.
No, you can. Not cool ones like these. These are really cool. They're translucent blue with the KNON logo on them, so that's pretty cool.
It's a good way to advertise KNON.
Yeah, $25.
Kids love them.
Absolutely.
I think I got 25 of them one time, made a really big donation. But now you get 2 of them for a $40 donation.
Yeah. We still got our coffee, too. We got our
that's pretty good coffee.
Organic house blend coffee.
Yeah. I miss Doc. Doc used to come in here and make coffee.
Oh, I know. You'd have coffee because that's about the only time you'd have coffee.
Yeah, he's still helping though. He puts recordings of us on the internet, which is good.
That's really
you can find our old programs on the internet.
You can see what we look like.
972
if you want.
647-1893. You don't want to know that.
You don't need to know. I've been told for a long time I got a great face for radio. I'm not sure what that means.
I wish they would quit saying that. And we don't have a makeup department.
No, we don't. We don't have a makeup department. No.
972-647-1893. Call and make a pledge. Help KNON stay on the air. They've got like 4 staffers that run the whole station.
All the rest of us are volunteers.
And about 100 volunteers, something like that. Really cool people.
24/7. 365 days a year. That is amazing that we can do what we do with volunteers.
They have these volunteer meetings before pledge drive, and I don't think they had one before this pledge drive. But I just kind of go in there and I'm just kind of amazed at people that make their own bread and know all this stuff about different kinds of music. Real experts on different things, and they're all volunteers.
We have Native American music on this channel. We have Cambodian music. Man, it's polka. You name it. We got it on this station. It's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. I've started listening to this station when I moved to Dallas back in 1983, mm-hmm. and I think that's about the same time that the station went on the air.
Yeah,
and it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's been community radio for 26 or 7 years, something like that now.
We just had our 30th anniversary, didn't we?
But they're not going to keep going. There was a time when the government was friendly toward community radio.
Those days are over.
You could get past. You could get a certain amount of grant money.
Right.
But those days are over. The government's cutting everything. In fact, I should mention this. What's really causing the recession to last so long is because of government austerity. Usually when there's a downturn, the government turns on the spigots and helps people get jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they haven't done that this time.
Well, I think that I truly believe that President Obama has tried.
He's trying to get some legislation. He had a jobs bill.
Yeah, the jobs bill to work on the infrastructure of the country, the bridges mm-hmm. and so forth. But, when you don't have anybody there to back you up, it's kind of hard to do anything.
The Economic Policy Institute says the economy is starting 2014 so far below potential because of historically unprecedented government austerity. So, in other words, government spending has not done what it usually does during time of recession, and that's why we've had such a long, prolonged recession.
Yeah.
Of course, the corporations don't mind it. They like it. They like unemployment, and they like mm-hmm. low wages, and they've gotten both over the last few years while they've made record profits. During what we're calling the recession, what we're calling hard times,
they're having a blast.
Have been incredible times for the big corporations.
Yeah.
They've lowered our wages, and so that means more money for them.
They keep banking the money, and the job creators are not the major corporations. That is not who is creating jobs. Jobs creators are entrepreneurs mm-hmm. that are starting businesses or trying to hire people. Small businesses. Mm-hmm. The corporations are doing nothing more but laying people off and expecting the remaining workers to pick up the slack.
And a simple solution like lowering the amount of working hours, you can't even get that on most radio stations or television stations. You can't even get them to even say that could happen.
Right.
We say it here on the Workers' Beat, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate anybody that will help us get past this fund drive. 972-647-1893 to call and make a pledge. You can also make your pledge online. Go to knon.org and put us down. Put Workers Beat as your favorite station. Now that may not be true, but
give it a shot.
But give it a shot, because otherwise we won't get credit for your money.
And I want to thank Quinn and Marjorie this morning for making pledges. Thank you so much.
And Bonnie and Jean.
And Bonnie and Jean.
We did make a little bit toward our $1,000.
That's right.
Quota.
Now we can't do that every week, okay? Because we're both retired, so
they're going to keep this pledge drive going until they make $114,000. It's not because they want to.
No, it's because we have to.
Yeah, they have to keep the station running. They need $114,000, and that's what's got to happen. That covers 3 months. 972-647-1893. Another way you can do it, let's see if Bonnie remembers the zip code this time.
5353 Maple Avenue, Suite 200, Dallas, Texas, 75232.
And you nearly got
235. Darn.
75235.
Right around the corner is 247, so it's kind of...
It's confusing.
Yes, it's confusing.
We're right behind Parkland Hospital.
Yes.
I don't know what their zip code is, but it's probably 75235.
Yeah, it is. It's the hospital district.
So send us some money, and if you write a check, write Workers Beat on it somewhere.
That's right.
Otherwise, we won't get any credit for it. But if you want to give money to some other program, well, that's all right.
That's okay too, because we still got it. We got to have it. Everybody's got it. Everybody's involved in pledge drives, so it's important that everybody send in their money and make a pledge.
And let's get past this, because we got a lot more stuff on worker justice we want to talk about, and a lot more guests we would like to bring in. Over the past, we had Juanita Wallace, for example, president of the NAACP. We've had leading union members. We've had activists, feminists, people who are experts on education. This is just in the last 3 months. I'm just remembering some of them.
Our Walmart has been on the show.
We've had several people on that are trying to help organize the Walmart Corporation. 972-647-1893.
Low-wage workers.
If you want to be part of the solution and not part of the problem.
That's right. Call and make a pledge. 972-647-1893.
And we appreciate it so much.
I hope that folks will go to the Union Hall on Thursday evening on the 8th for the Labor and Faith program. It's very, very interesting, and you will be amazed at the connections in the Bible between labor and faith. I mean, I always said Jesus was a great organizer, and of course he was a carpenter, so there you go. Moses was actually the first organizer, in my opinion.
So they were. That's when labor history began.
Exactly.
It's when Moses led the slaves out of slavery.
The slaves out of slavery. Yeah.
So they were laborers.
Yes, they were.
And got emancipated there as they ran.
Relieved from bondage.
Yeah, as they ran across the Red River,
the
Red Sea.
The Red Sea.
972-647-1893. You can call anytime. It doesn't have to be during our program.
That's right.
Call, make a pledge. But if you want us to have credit for it, you do have to say Workers Beat somewhere along the way.
That's right. You can set up a bank draft where you can comes out of your checking account automatically every month. You don't even have to worry about it. And what you don't see, you don't miss, right? That's always been my philosophy.
In 1886, on May the 1st, there was a big demonstration in Chicago. There were several in Texas. There were demonstrations all over the world to try to lower the working day down to 8 hours. You know, it was 12 hours then. And a few people were working 10, but mostly people were working 12 hours. And they fought to get the 8-hour day.
And won.
That happened in 1886. They hanged them for it.
Well, yeah, there was that part. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you back here next week. Don't forget to pledge.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.